Hi everyone, I'm Riley from Echidna Sewing. Welcome back, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make these gorgeous patchwork Christmas tree ornaments. Christmas is fast approaching and no doubt you'll be wanting to spruce up the house with an abundance of Christmas decor. These Christmas ornaments add the perfect Christmas touch to any tree and you'll want to make more for friends and family. These ornaments are made from lightweight quilting cotton, but can be made from any relatively lightweight material. They are quite small, so any thick fabrics would hinder the effect and make sewing a little more difficult. The machine I'm using in this video is the NV50S. Here is everything else you're going to need, but you can check out the full list down below. And finally, make sure you have downloaded and cut out your pattern pieces too. Now let's get into it. We have 3 patterns to choose from, and I'm going to do the tree pattern for this video, but the process is exactly the same for all 3 patterns. Then make sure your fabric is pre-ironed before you start cutting anything out. I have already ironed mine nice and flat, as you can see. Now for each shape, we want to make our own patchwork fabric out of rectangles. So you'll need to cut out rectangles that suit your shape's width. For the star, you'll need to cut out 14 rectangles that are 6.75 inches wide and 1.5 inches long. The candy cane will be 14 rectangles that are 5 inches wide and 1.5 inches long. And the tree will need 18 rectangles that are 6.5 inches wide and 1.5 inches long. So go ahead and cut out those rectangles, making sure you distribute the colors you have evenly. I have 5 different types of fabric, so I'm going to cut out either 3 or 4 rectangles from each fabric, and I'm going to do that with a patchwork ruler and my rotary cutter. Once you have your rectangles cut out, divide them into 2 even groups. Mine will have 9 in each, and arrange them in a pattern that you like. Because I have an odd amount, I'm going to have slightly different rectangles in each one. It doesn't have to be identical. You can have them a bit mismatched. I'm pretty happy with that side. From this, we will make 2 patchwork pieces of fabric, 1 and 2, that we can then cut our pattern out from. So once you have them in a pattern you like, take the first 2 rectangles. I'm just going to pop these ones over here while I'm working on these ones. So grab the first 2 rectangles, place them right sides together, and pin or clip to secure the long raw edge together. Then you can stitch that long edge together with a straight stitch and a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then press that seam open flat. Now you can repeat that for the rest of your rectangles until you have sewn all 9 of your rectangles together, and then repeat that entire process again to make your other half of the ornament. Once you have both of your patchwork pieces done and pressed, the next step is to cut out our pattern piece. Now it's important that you either mirror your fabric or your pattern piece when cutting these out, especially the candy cane, as it won't fit together properly otherwise. So for this, you can either trace out the pattern with a friction pen and then cut it out with scissors, or you can pin the pattern in place and then cut it out with scissors. I'm going to trace it out with a friction pen and then cut it out. And you'll also notice with 9 rectangles, you get a little bit of wiggle room on either side, so you could choose to put your pattern piece down further and exclude that top bit, or you can have a little bit of both on either side, totally up to you. I'm going to exclude my bottom rectangle on this one. That, then just trace it out with your friction pen. Now, if after you've drawn out your pattern piece, traced it out, you're not happy with the placement or how it's looking, you can just use your iron to iron off that friction pen and then try again. But I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm going to mirror my fabrics and put them together so that I can cut out 2 pattern pieces at once. And I'm actually going to pin these together so they stay put while I'm cutting them out. Once those are cut out, you can grab your ribbon and cut an 8-inch piece. Alright, then fold it in half, and you're going to align the raw ends of the ribbon to the raw edge of the topmost point of your pattern piece. For me, it'll be the tip of my tree, and I'm just going to pin it in place right there. Now we can align our 2 pieces right sides together and pin or clip them to secure them together. Once you've pinned those together, grab your friction pen and you're going to mark a 2-inch gap along this longest side of the tree. Approximately a 2-inch gap. Mine's going to be about 1.5 inches actually. And you want to leave that open while we're stitching. Then you can stitch those 2 pieces together with a straight stitch and a 1/4-inch seam allowance, making sure that you pivot at each corner and that we leave that 1.5-inch gap open. Once you've stitched those together, you'll need to trim notches into the seam allowance to reduce the bulk in corners and around any curves that you may have with the candy cane. So I'm just going to clip little notches in those turning points, making sure that I don't snip into my stitches. And I'm also going to completely trim off the corners, the points as well. All right, I'm just going to do that all the way around. Then you can flip your ornament right side out using your purple fang to push out the corners or curves. Also, just be mindful of that pin that's holding that ribbon in place when you go to turn this right side out. Once you've turned that right side out, we want to tuck in our turning hole and secure it shut with a pin. Then you can give your whole ornament a good press with your iron. And our final step is to top stitch the entire perimeter of your ornament, and I'm going to use a smaller stitch, so a 2mm rather than a 2.5, and do make sure that you stitch that turning hole shut as well. And that's how you make your patchwork Christmas tree ornaments. Now, if you're interested in any of the products that we used in this video, you can check out our website for more information. And don't forget to tag us on Instagram so we can see your creations too. Thanks for watching and happy stitching!